ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for taking the time today to watch our health class video. My name is Dr. Elizabeth Easterling.
And I'm Dr. Pat Bickert.
The information we are about to present to you could not only help you make better and more informed decisions regarding your health for yourself and your loved ones, we actually believe it could add years to your life.
What we will be discussing today is what health actually is, how our bodies really work, and how we can not just maintain health but improve it into advanced age.
So let's start with a question of what health actually is. What is health?
Many of us believe that if we don't have obvious symptoms of disease, we must be healthy, right? But is that actually true?
Let's take a look at some situations where this may not be the case. One of the most common symptom-free diseases is a dental cavity. Undetected, it has no symptoms. But when the toothache begins, the damage may be so severe it may need a root canal to fix.
Other common examples are undetected heart disease, cancer, or early stages of diabetes.
So relying only on symptoms to judge our state of health could in fact be fatal.
Or let's look at the other side of the coin. Some of the symptoms we experience from time to time that we may want to suppress because we think we are sick may not in fact be so bad.
Take fever, for example. In order for the body to kill off a particular virus or bacteria, it heats itself up to say 38.5 to 40 degrees so that the organism dies. If we suppress it with a drug, we may actually prolong the disease process in the body.
Other examples are coughing, sneezing, or even vomiting. These are actually all healthy, natural ways of ridding the body from infection or toxins. Taking drugs may suppress the symptoms and let us be fooled into thinking we're healthier, but the opposite may actually be true.
Right. So true health then is what?
Well, we believe it is when we are able to express our best potential, physically, mentally, and spiritually. That means when our bodies and minds work the way they're supposed to.
That leads us to the next question. How do our bodies really work? And what is it that controls that?
All cells, all tissues, and all functions of the body are controlled by one master system, and it's called the nervous system. In other words, we live our lives through our senses. Even the immune system is controlled by the nervous system, and so are the emotions. If we experience fear, our whole body will go into a fight or flight response and remain there until the fear has dissipated.
So let's take a look at the nervous system then. It comprises of the central nervous system composed by the brain and the spinal cord. These, of course, are housed by the skull and the spine, hard, bony elements to protect them in the best possible way.
Then we have the peripheral nervous system, which is all the nerves exiting the spinal cord and branching out to supply everything in the body.
The function of the body relies on clear messages from the brain through the spinal cord to all parts of the body and back again, just like a highly sophisticated computer system.
As long as these messages can travel through the body without interference, our bodies can function and perform to its maximum capacity.
But what if they don't?
If these messages have some type of interference, the signals may be distorted or muted. Whatever is supplied by that particular nerve or group of nerves cannot function properly. A loss of health is the result.
If nerve signals to a muscle is affected, the muscle may become weak, tight, or spasmodic.
If nerve signals to the stomach are affected, indigestion, heartburn, or ulcers may occur.
And if nerve signals to the lungs are affected, perhaps asthma may occur.
So what causes these interferences then?
Well, stress. There are actually three types of stress that can affect the nervous system. Physical stress, such as trauma, injuries, poor posture, or occupational stresses, such as repetitive strain injury or computer work, can result in the spinal bones jamming up or misaligning. When that happens, the nerves that exit between each levels of the spinal vertebrae may become chafed, pulled, or pinched.
This is what chiropractors call a vertebral subluxation. In fact, the whole purpose of chiropractic is based on the detection and correction of vertebral subluxation.
A second type of stress is chemical stress, such as drugs, medications, environmental toxins, sugar and junk food, to name a few. The effects on the nervous system are actually the same as physical stress, namely loss of function and health.
The third type of stress is emotional or mental stress, such as fear, worry, anger, guilt, or grief. Negative physical consequences are the result. Long term, these will also cause loss of health.
Now, many of us are led to believe that when we are sick and receive medications, we get healthy again. But is that necessarily the case?
Let's examine some statistics. First of all, Tylenol. Over the counter, completely harmless, right? Wrong. One of the leading causes of liver failure in North America today is Tylenol, not alcohol. And one of the leading causes of kidney failure in North America is aspirin. It may prevent blood clotting, but instead cause kidney failure.
What about antibiotic overuse? Well, about 90% of all upper respiratory infections are viral, which means antibiotics are useless. Yet about half of those patients still receive antibiotics for them.
A nationwide survey indicated that children who receive 20 or more cycles of antibiotics are twice as likely to suffer developmental delays compared to those receiving 3 cycles or less.
According to the American Medical Association, about 180,000 people die every year from iatrogenic injury from drugs and medication in the US. That equals 3 jumbo jet crashes every 2 days.
According to American Medical News in 1996, the annual toll of prescription drug-related problems cost $182 billion per year and kills as many as 200,000 people and accounts for up to 28% of all hospital admissions.
Drug benefit trend tells us that 32,000 hip fractures per year are attributed by giving the elderly medications that sedate them. That the elderly take on average 25 prescriptions per year, and that about 51% of all deaths in the elderly are actually caused by drug reactions.
In 1994, Americans spent $73 billion on prescription drugs and another $76 billion to treat the adverse effects from them.
And of course, the major pharmaceutical companies have nothing but our best interest at stake, right? Well, according to the Life Extension Organization in 2005, the percent markup for the drug Claritin was 30,000%. For Prozac, it was 225,000%. And Xanax was an astounding 570,000% markup.
And how about lifestyle? In 1905, the US government did a study on how much sugar was consumed per person per year. The result was 5 pounds per person per year. The same study was performed in 1985, and the result was 150 pounds per person per year. What would it be now?
It is now estimated that over 2/3 of North Americans are overweight or obese. Obesity is linked to diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, gallbladder disease, and depression.
And look out for the diet products. Many of the aspartame or NutraSweet products actually contain a neurotoxin that may be linked to autoimmune diseases such as multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, and others.
It is estimated that more than 70% of these so-called lifestyle diseases could be avoided. What would that do to our overstrained medical system, do you think?
So if drugs don't make us healthier, what does?
Well, when we are born healthy, we express full potential. We're able to fight diseases, recover quickly from injuries, our brains are clear, and our senses work perfectly. All our organs are healthy. Our joints and muscles are supple and strong, and we're able to fully adapt to our environment. In fact, this state of health is called our optimum general adaptive potential, or optimum GAP, or GAP for short. Over the years, if we overload the body though, or the nervous system, with more stress than we can adapt to, our GAP starts to narrow. So how can we then improve our GAPs or GAPs? What are some of the things that we might be able to do?
Well, by removing or reducing nerve system interference patterns, of course. How? One way is most likely the reason you're here, correcting vertebral subluxations of your spine.
Now remember, vertebral subluxations not only interfere with spinal movement, they also interfere with the spinal nerve at that particular level. This may cause neuromuscular interference, such as muscle spasm or weakness. But it may also interfere with the autonomic function, such as circulation, or depending on which level it is, it could cause headaches or asthma, indigestion, irritable bowel syndrome,
ADHD, ADD, ear infections, infantile colic, or even bedwetting may all be symptoms of nerve interference from vertebral subluxation.
Right. So how important is it then that our nervous systems work as well as possible for as long as possible, for the rest of our lives? And how important is it for our kids' nervous systems to function as well as possible from this day forward? And what about our pets?
Yes, we did say pets. Actually, animals may suffer vertebral subluxation too. Injuries, illness, arthritis, hip dysplasias, not enough exercise, obesity, and other things may cause subluxation and nerve interference in animals. I've seen many animals suffering back pain and incontinence, both which responded to chiropractic care.
Other things that we can do to improve our GAPs are, of course, healthy eating, whole foods, exercise, getting enough rest, and having a good vitamin regime.
Other proven things are healthy relationships, laughter, a feeling of purpose, feeling part of a community, meditation, yoga, and owning pets.
Yes. So now that we know about the GAP or gap, well, how can we actually measure it?
Well, we can do that through our Insight Subluxation Station in our office, or the neuro-spinal scanner. This is a state-of-the-art space technology that can measure neuromuscular function, autonomic interference patterns in the spine, as well as a pulse wave profile, which in effect measures your GAP.
This way, we can easily determine your state of health, design a customized care plan, and track your progress as you go.
We asked the question earlier, how important is it to have as good a functioning nervous system for as long as possible, since that equates to the best chances for good health?
Well, most of our patients think that it's pretty important. That's why many people, after having gone through their care programs, choose lifelong chiropractic wellness care for themselves and their families.
Wouldn't we choose lifelong dental care, lifelong healthy eating or exercise? Don't we want lifelong regular checkups with our medical doctors? Of course. So why would we not choose lifelong spinal health care? Makes sense, doesn't it? And don't we want our kids to have that best possible chance of health? Well, of course. That's why getting our kids checked on a regular basis is so important.
Absolutely. In fact, studies show that people who have ongoing chiropractic care get sick less often, take less medication, and report a better quality of life compared to people who don't.
Of course, how long you choose chiropractic care ultimately is up to you. We're here to help you reach your health goals and help you make the best, most informed healthcare choices for you and your family.
Thank you so much for joining us today in this video, and we are honored and excited to be part of your healthcare journey here at Creative Healing.
Thank you very much.